it. If you want to help victims of the shooting, you can head to hlntv.com/Robin. There's a link up there with any information about how you can show your support. The Colorado shooting suspect's apartment. It was apparently just a maze of twisted wires that police say look like spaghetti. And a law enforcement official says that if anything had gone off, the whole building would have blown with fire, I should say. It would have gone on fire by the time the crews got there. So Jim Spellman is joining us live from Aurora, Colorado, with more on what else the officers found in there. So the things we've heard are like descriptions of, it looked like spaghetti junction with so many wires and glass containers full of gas. What did they think was the intention here?
Oh, the intention was clearly to blow this apartment up when somebody opened the front door. These are not huge apartments. Trying to picture 30 of these IEDs, similar to about the size of a grenade, all wired up to a central control box that is then attached to a tripwire at the front door. First person to open that would have set it off, is what police tell us. It took them nearly 2 days to figure out their approach to undo this, Robin. Finally, they were able to use water to disable the control box. That rendered the rest of the explosives inoperable. In addition to the explosives, gasoline everywhere that would have contributed to an even bigger fireball if this thing exploded, Robin.
I mean, obviously this just didn't happen overnight. So where do they think this guy learned this and got all this stuff to do this?
Well, we know that over the last just couple of months, he's received about 50 large packages there at the apartment. We know some of that was magazines and tactical for the guns and tactical gear that he wore during the attack. But police are surmising that much of that had to be the components to go in to building these things. Still no word on where he may have gotten the gunpowder to go into these things. But like you said, this is not something you're going to rig up overnight. This clearly took a lot of thought. They're probably going to use those facts as they build this case against him.
You know what's hard to reckon then is the image of him in court, just kind of dazed and out of it, whether it's medicated or not, and someone who is clearly smart that they can figure out how to rig up an entire apartment.
Yeah, and not only that, Robin, but I spoke with a man. So this attack happened very early Friday. I spoke with a man who drank beers with him on Tuesday night before, barely 48 hours before the attack, and said he was just like a regular guy that he had drinks with at a bar. Talked about the Denver Broncos,
wow.
Chatted, didn't seem at all unusual. So clearly there was sort of two lives going on for this man as he built up to this attack. But it's hard to figure that a guy who could just go to his neighborhood bar and hang out with the guys and drink some beers on Tuesday could do this on Friday morning, and then that's the same guy that I saw in court yesterday. Very hard to put all those sort of images of this same person together.
Right, right. That you felt so friendly that you would sit there and talk with neighbors that you really didn't know. But then, you're accused of shooting the same neighbors, basically. Not the same people, but, people from the same area. Fascinating, but
yeah, well,
so horrifying.
The man that I spoke to that had... The man I spoke to who had beers with him was going to go see the movie that night, and something fell through and he wasn't able to go. He could have been in that same theater. You're right, it was his neighbors.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Jim, thank you so much.